Sossusvlei is probably Namibia's best known location. It's an area with massive red dunes. But you don't only have these big dunes in the area, there are all these white pans that make the area so impressive. And these white pans are created by a river. The river is called the Tsauchab, and the river originates out of the escarpment to the east of the desert. And in this video, we're going to quickly follow that river from Sossusvlei all the way back to its source. The river is an ephemeral river, meaning it doesn't have water most of the time. And how much water it has varies a lot. Some years there's a lot of rain in the escarpment, and therefore the river flows often. Some years it doesn't reach the desert at all. The river once upon a time used to reach the Atlantic Ocean, but slowly over tens of thousands of years, the dunes have choked out the river, slowly one bit at a time, and so old clay pans from where the river used to flow still exist. The most recent one that has been cut off is Deadvlei, which was cut off roughly 900 years ago, and you can visit it on a trip to Sossusvlei. Sossusvlei pan itself is the final pan that still gets reached by the river, and then the river is totally blocked from there. There's still subterranean flow, and so there's water underneath the ground reaching all the way down to the ocean, but there's no surface flow beyond Sossusvlei. So that's our starting point for going back towards its source. As we leave Sossusvlei and go eastwards up the valley of the dunes, we see the river on the northern side. Basically, we see it as a tree line, not as a river. There's no flowing water most of the time, so there's just a line of trees. These trees are vital for wildlife in the area. Many animals will be in there sheltering during the heat of the day, such as oryx or springbuck or ostrich. Many small birds exist deep into the desert only because there is this tree line. So these lines of trees that follow the riverbeds are vital for life in the deserts. As we move further east some more, we get to the Sesrim Canyon. Many people are confused about the canyon. It's not a huge canyon, but it is very significant for the area. If you think about the Sossusvlei area, in historical times, there was no surface water anywhere in the area, and the Sesrim Canyon used to have permanent surface water at the bottom of it because it's sheltered from the sun, and the subterranean flow would flow into it and create little pools of water. And these small dirty pools of water would have been a vital source of water for any people living in the area in those days. Once we leave the Sesrim Canyon and move further east, we wind around some of the hills in the desert before we finally enter the gap between the Nachtlucht Mountains to the north and the Tsaris Mountains to the south. This forms the escarpment, the eastern edge of the desert, and so as we move east from there, we're no longer in the Namib Desert. The area would be called Karoo as we move from there, and the Tsauchab River actually splits there, and there's the Zebra River going off more to the south, and the Tsauchab River moves more to the north. Out of the Nachtlucht Mountains, there are a bunch of small ravines or valleys that are basically gorges out of the mountain that feed small riverbeds into the Tsauchab River, and eventually up towards the very end of the Nachtlucht Mountains we reach the final point at which the initial source of the river comes down. That area is a fascinating area. Historically, this would have been an area that people could survive during drier times because there would be springs up in the mountains, and it was an important area for the unique mountain zebra that only exists on the eastern side of the Namib Desert, and it's still an area that's fascinating to take hikes. Beautiful, rugged mountains.